the last 2 weeks, we had 5 children taken from us.
A witch does not come out in the open like that.
I don't think we're hunting witches. There's something else going on here.
We have to find those kids.
Imagine Hansel and Gretel 15 years later, after the gingerbread house, and they've grown up to be bounty hunters for witches. I just thought it would be great to take that world that the Grimm brothers created and the darkness, because the original fairy tale is pretty dark and scary, and you take that and you mix it with humor and attitude and modern sensibilities. I thought it could be a fun mix. It felt like a natural continuation of the story. If that happened to them, this could happen.
For people that aren't familiar with the fairy tale, we do the tail end of it to kind of refresh people's minds. And then you realize 15 years later, this is kind of what they've been doing. So it's not really kind of doing anything, flipping it on its head or anything. It's just a continuation of years gone by.
It was a different take on a traditional story that we've all grown up with. The witches there are many more of them and many different variations of them, I think, that we haven't seen before in the past. And I get to be the head witch, ugly as all can be.
My name is Gretel, and this is my brother Hansel.
How do you best kill a witch?
Cutting off her head tends to work.
I think the biggest thing is to establish the brother-sister relationship, really, because that's the whole point of it, is this duo. Luckily, we had natural, easy chemistry with each other, could be pretty free and up for everything.
It's a fun action-adventure movie, it has horror elements, it's got comedy in it, but for me it was always important that the brother-sister relationship worked. If that doesn't work, the movie doesn't work. Even though we are a fast-paced action movie, we have a few quiet moments with Hansel and Gretel, and we always talked about savoring those moments and really sell the brother-sister relationship. Otherwise, nobody would care what happened to them later.
I call it sort of acting in tandem. I kind of need her to sort of exist. It's a coexisting thing. And I want to do it because the fantasy world that this is built in, we can go have fun. Everything that I've done in the past has been so serious. Why so serious? So it's nice to go have some fun.
I saw Jeremy in the Hurt Locker, obviously, and I saw him on my way to LA on the plane, and the moment I landed, I called my producers and said, we have to get Jeremy Renner to read the script. And he read it, and he really liked it, and you meet him, and he's really funny, too. You haven't seen that much in the movies yet, so I just thought that would be a perfect combination for Hansel. So we got him pretty early, and then it was Gemma, and I saw her in a movie called The Disappearance of Alice Creed, a great English thriller she did, and I thought she was amazing in it. Of course, when you're casting a brother and sister relationship, it is important that they, like each other. So we got them together, and they clicked straight away, and they just felt natural around each other, which was important to us.
The makeup takes over so much of everything. I mean, normally it's just, I come to set, I go into my hair and makeup trailer for just a bit, and then it's all about me acting. And this was really about the makeup. And the makeup was doing so much of my acting already, too, and I couldn't rely on the things I'd learned to rely on in the past, like my facial expressions. No eyes were available to me. I had contacts in, fake teeth, blood on my tongue every 5 seconds, wig, everything. So it was very strange to have to maneuver all that.
Well, she didn't like the makeup. I mean, nobody does. It's 3 hours to take it on. Then you have the contact lenses in addition to that. And you shoot a whole day after that, and then you think you can go home, but then it's 1.5 hours more in the makeup chair just taking off the makeup. So it's a tough test for any actor or actress, but she pulled through.
The fighting sequences were difficult just because I had a little bit too many hurdles, I found. I couldn't really see through the contacts, I couldn't really move in my costume, I couldn't, I came undone, my glue came undone every single time I moved or talked. It's just trying to let go of all of that other stuff that's put on you and really just becoming a character on your own. That was a little bit of a challenge.
Who are you?
I go by many names, none of which you're worthy of pronouncing.
Oh my God.
Tommy Warkola, I kept saying to him, what happened to you in those dark nights in Norway? How did you get to be so dark and twisted? And he looks so innocent and sweet. He's been working on this for a really long time, so it's great for him that it's all finally come together.
He's quite sort of boyish and bright-eyed, and I think the whole thing for him was so surreal, it coming from inside his head, and then now it's on.
Hell yeah!
Morning, sunshine.
the stone circle, which is the big showdown, I guess, with all the hundreds of witches everywhere. And there's this big witch-killing fest. And that was real. We had all of these explosions going off and witches flying off in different directions. And I mean, that was the choreography of that and the timing was tricky, but it was great because it happened. And there's no real massive special effects in that, visual effects in that.
So much practical effects. We had a troll in there, we had children. It was a lot to coordinate. It was a tough shoot, but I really like to get things in camera. I don't like to use CGI too much. I like to use CGI to polish what I get in camera. So we have makeup of the witches, we have a troll, an animatronic troll. He's not CGI. My desire of getting as much as I could in camera, of course it's a little harder to shoot it that way, but it's worth it in the end. I had a crush on Famke ever since seeing her strangling people with her thighs.